When the Petro family moved into an old house on the outskirts of town, Katya immediately noticed something strange. There were no mirrors in the house, not a single one, not in the bathroom, not in the bedrooms, not even in the hallway where they are usually hung. "How strange," she remarked, helping her parents unload their belongings. "Why are there no mirrors in the house? The previous owners probably took them with them," said her mother, smoothing out the curtains. "We'll buy new ones, don't worry." But the next day, while exploring the house, Katya discovered a door leading to the basement. It creaked so loudly that it seemed as if it hadn't been opened in years. Inside, the basement was dark and damp, but in the corner, behind an old wardrobe, stood a large, dust-covered mirror in a carved wooden frame. "We found one!" Katya rejoiced and touched the surface of the frame. A chill ran through her hand at the touch, even though the air in the basement was warm. She rubbed the mirror with her sleeve to wipe off the dirt and saw her reflection. But something was wrong. Although the mirror was old, it did not reflect her room, but a completely different space. A dim room lit by a faint reddish light. Katya recoiled. That night, lying in bed, Katya couldn't stop thinking about the mirror. "Maybe it's just old glass. That's why it reflects so strangely," she thought. But deep down, she felt uneasy. The next day, she went down to the basement again. This time, she looked into the mirror longer. The reddish light in the reflection remained, but now Katya noticed something else. Deep in the space, reflected in the mirror, something moved. It looked like a human figure. "Is anyone there?" she whispered. The figure stopped. Katya felt her heart freeze, and then suddenly it began to beat rapidly as the figure in the mirror began to approach. Its outline became clearer. It was a woman with long black hair that covered half of her face. She came almost close to the glass, but did not come out of it. Katya stepped back, but instead of being frightened, she felt a strange curiosity. "Can you hear me?" she asked. The woman in the mirror nodded. Then her lips began to move, but there was no sound. She said silently, "Help me." Katya told her parents about the mirror, but they just dismissed it. "Don't make things up, Katya. It's an old house, old junk," said her mother. "We were going to throw everything out of the basement anyway." But Katya couldn't get the mirror out of her head. That night, she went down to the basement again, taking a flashlight with her. The woman in the mirror was already waiting for her. "Who are you?" Katya asked, trying to keep her voice from shaking. The woman began to move her lips again, and this time, Katya could make out her words. "My name is Maria. They locked me in here." "Who are they?" the girl asked. Maria didn't answer. Instead, she raised her hand and pointed somewhere deep into the basement. Katya turned around, but there was nothing there, only a brick wall. "What do you want?" Katya whispered. "Free me," the woman replied. The next day, Katya decided to tell her grandmother, who had come to visit, about her discoveries. When she mentioned the mirror in the basement, her grandmother's face turned pale. "A mirror in the basement?" she asked, as if she had heard something familiar. "Yes, it doesn't reflect our room, but some strange one. And there's a woman there." Her grandmother was silent for a few seconds, then took Katya by the hand. "Listen, dear. This house, a strange family lived in it. Many years ago, a woman died in this basement. She was young and beautiful, but her husband, they say he was a cruel man. No one knows what happened to her. But after her death, the house became different. People began to see strange things, especially in mirrors." Katya felt a chill run down her spine. Are you saying it's her spirit? She whispered. Perhaps, said her grandmother. But whatever you do, don't touch that mirror. However, the prohibitions only fueled her curiosity. The next evening, Katya went down to the basement again. This time, she brought a hammer with her. If the woman wanted to get out, maybe she should break the mirror. Are you sure this is a good idea? She whispered to herself, looking at the woman. Maria in the mirror nodded, her lips forming the words, "Help me." Again, Katya raised the hammer, and at that moment, the basement was flooded with cold. Voices came from somewhere above, as if someone invisible was watching her. She swung the hammer. At that moment, the woman in the mirror suddenly changed. Her face contorted into an ominous grin, and her eyes flashed red. "Stupid girl," whispered a voice that sounded right inside Ketya's head. She dropped the hammer, but it was too late. A thin, bony hand reached out from the mirror. Katya screamed and ran upstairs. When her parents burst into the basement, the mirror was gone. Its frame lay broken on the floor, and the glass seemed to have vanished into thin air. Katya couldn't explain what had happened, and her parents just shook their heads, deciding it was just another childhood fear. But at night in her room, Katya felt the air around her grow cold. She opened her eyes and saw that a mirror had appeared on the wall opposite her bed. In its dim glass, she could see a woman with long black hair, and now she was smiling.